All right, shalom, shalom. This is Brother Mashaba coming back at you with another lesson. With the brother.
Yes, relevant.
And before we get into it, we want to give all the honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh, Bahashim, Chakudash. Second thing that we want to do is give double honor to all the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to all three brothers that are pushing this truth with both sincerity and with charity. All right, so what we're going to get into is kind of a mix of shunning events and also, brotherly topic, because as this Diddy trial is going on, there's a lot of stuff, coming to light of what he did, like the 96-hour freak offs that he would have his wife do, having all different types of men, just have intercourse with her, no matter how, just whatever, just a bunch of filth and wickedness. And, I'm pretty sure that, he's not going to go down for all this by himself. All right, he's going to be exposing a lot of these celebrities that, that have participated in that, filth and wickedness. Okay, but let's start off with this. This is Luke chapter 12 and verse 2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Therefore, whatsoever ye have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which ye have spoken in the ear in closets shall be proclaimed upon the housetop. So yeah, just as I was, saying, all that wickedness is, is coming to light. All right, just, how anything, brother, may think he, does, is not being watched or whatever. Hold on, let me get this scripture. This is Sirach chapter 23 and verse 19. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not the eyes of the Lord, are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts. So, yeah, man. All right. The eyes of the Lord, they see everything. All right. He's all knowing. All right. Even if he does have his angels watching, which he don't need, they reporting to him. All right. Everything that we doing. So any, act, any, things that come out your mouth, or, even any, fully conscious thought you have, all right, is recorded, and noted down by the Lord. All right. You had a precept?
Yeah, this is Luke 8 and 17. For nothing is secret that shall not be, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. Abroad, right, man? So, you can't keep a secret from the Lord, man. Because like the scripture he just read, the Lord's eyes are 10 times better than the sun. What it's wicked, but what do like that Santa Claus song? He sees you when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake. Like you really can't get nothing past the Lord, man. So the Lord's gonna always know what you're doing. The Lord's gonna always know what you're thinking, and yeah, basically it's that simple, man.
Right. All right. So if you thinking about a certain brother, let's say you and a brother have a certain problem, and you not bringing it to that brother, and you just letting a bad thoughts about said brother in your mind, dwell or whatever. Scriptures one say, let not your wrath rest upon the son. All right. And if you do have a problem with your brother, speak it out to him. All right. That's just an example, but another could be, you just not doing what you got to do when you're not around brothers. As this scripture I just read said, such a man only feared the eyes of men. You only, so-called righteous, holy brother when you're around other brothers, but when you by yourself, you just 2/3. All right. This is Revelation 3 and 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. So yeah. So the Lord is, He sees that lukewarmness. He sees, the laziness, man. He sees brothers, he will see if you're not, really going after it. All right. The scripture say, come on. This is one of my favorite scriptures. 1 Corinthians 9:24. Know ye not that they which run in the race run all, but one receiveth the prize, so run that ye may obtain. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. So yeah, man. All right. So this scripture, so this truth is like, a marathon. But put it into perspective like this, especially for if you're an athlete or whatever. Let's say you had a big game coming up, or you had a very important track meet, race, whatever, coming up. If you're not putting in the work, day in, day out, if you're not truly committed to it, it will show on, that day to play, man. It's gonna show. It's gonna show that you ain't been, practicing your routes. You ain't been, practicing your catches. You ain't been practicing how to shoot, how to dribble. You know, your running form, whatever. It's gonna show on that day to play, and then we're gonna be looking like, Dookie. All right, to put it simple, it's like this truth, but it's more of a, constant thing instead of preparing for. Well, we are preparing for that day of judgment, but we every day, could be a day of judgment. The Lord, hands out judgment every day, man. All right, so we put in that work, day in, day out, around brothers or not, to prove ourselves worthy. All right, you can read that.
This is 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Right, man. So, like the saying goes, you practice how. You play how you practice or something like that.
Yes.
Right, man. So if we not practicing, we not practicing this word, we not studying in this word. When we on the line and the scoffer comes out, it will show. It will show, man, because the Lord will have a scoffer specifically pick you out to see what you know, man.
Huh.
And that's another thing where it's that you can't get past the Lord, man, because He will put you on the spotlight, man. If you're not reading, if you're not studying, He will put you on the spotlight, man.
Oh man, because Lord, His scripture saying, He searches us out, as candles, man. All right, so the Lord, He could, have somebody put you on the spotlight just because, you ain't been studying. All right, and now you gonna be embarrassed. Of course, the brothers, if you're on the line, they're gonna, come and, sort of save the day, and cut whatever scoffer, but. Now after camp or whatever, you getting, got on because you ain't know something, and it could just be a simple milk question. All right, it's some deep, neat scriptures. It's understandable. We all got to freshen up on those, but like. Scriptures, because scoffers, they really gonna come up with easy milk questions, man. Imagine if you on the line, on the spot, and don't know an easy milk question, man. All right, you're gonna be embarrassing yourself and dang near the whole camp. All right, cause how didn't you know something like that, man? All right,
man, because pastors now, man, they don't come up to deal no more, man. So you really rarely see somebody who think they know what they're talking about or somewhat woke. You rarely gonna see that, man. It's gonna be scoffers that's coming up who don't know anything, man. And if you getting stumbled up, well, really every scoffer knows nothing. But if you're getting stumbled up by a low level scoffer,
there's some that I'd ask you like, will they like not know, but like know some like deep questions. Like that one dude, Vocab Malone. Like he'll try to trip you up. But
Yeah,
yeah.
but scoffers, they'll even ask you questions they don't even know the answer to.
Yeah. And to back up our point, 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. All right, so yeah.
That's the scripture I just read, but
Oh, you did?
yes,
Oh, dang, Salaki.
the come full circle.
Nah, Salaki. I should have paid attention. But yeah, man. But I'm gonna get another precept though. So we gotta, just keep studying, keep, working out the truth, keep growing, keep getting that discipline. All right. I'm trying to, let me see. How spell exercise? Okay. This is Tobit chapter 12 and verse 8. Prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness. A little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness. It is better to give alms than to lay up gold. For alms deliver from death and shall purge away all sin. Those that exercise alms and righteousness shall be filled with life. But they that sin are enemies to their own life. So yeah. Alright, so as scripture say, those that exercise alms and righteousness. Alright, so as in the truth, we exercising, just like how you would exercise any part of your body, for it to either get stronger or more toned out, both, whatever. It's how we exercising this truth. All right, discipline and, growth. All right, but, those who are not exercising it, are, it's going to be shown. All right, and if you're not, making your calling of election sure, all right, the Lord is going to see that, and you're not going to be one of the elect. All right, so everything that's done in the dark, it shall come to a light, man. All right, but you had anything else? All right, so with that, we hope this lesson was edifying, but we're going to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashim Kakudash. Second thing that we want to do is give double honor to all the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to all the brothers that are pushing the truth with both sincerity and with charity. Shalom, wa ababa wa kwam yasharallah.